Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Giant Talk, the world's first OKR podcast. Hope that you're all well and are looking forward to the next episode. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Andrea, who is from Omnia Retail. Andrea, welcome to Giant Talk.
Thanks. My pleasure to be here today.
Good. So today, Andrea and I are going to be chatting a little bit about the human factor behind OKRs. And this is born out of her experience actually implementing OKRs at Omnia Retail. So, Andrea, tell us a little bit about yourself to start off with.
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Andrea. That's how we say it in Spain.
Sorry, my Spanish is bad.
Okay. 40 years old, and I'm originally from Galicia. It's a beautiful green region in the northwest of Spain, just above Portugal, if everybody is interested to visit that beautiful place over there.
That sounds beautiful.
Yes, really nice.
And where are you now then? Where are we calling you from?
So I'm calling from Amsterdam. So I studied telecommunications engineering in Vigo in Galicia in Spain, but moved to Madrid afterwards. I was working mainly with the telco industry, started as a developer, then as a functional analyst, and then I moved to Amsterdam, beautiful Amsterdam, of course, 8 years ago. And being involved in fintech, now in e-commerce. I'm currently the CEO at Omnia Retail. So it's very, very interesting.
Wow. So a really varied background then.
Yes, well, I like moving the domains as well. I think it's really nice. The telco industry is beautiful. I learn a lot in fintech, and now with e-commerce, it spices up a little bit everything. So I really like keep on learning, right?
Absolutely. Variety is the spice of life, as they say.
Yes, that is true.
So how long have you been COO at Omnia then?
It's been 1.5 years now, so still quite recent. Very challenging position and loving every minute.
Good. That's always an upside, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do Omnia Retail do then, for those of us who might not have heard of them before?
We're involved in e-commerce, as I said before, and our main purpose, we have a very beautiful purpose, which is to unleash superpowers by democratizing expertise and automation for retailers and brands. So mainly what we do is that we help retailers and brands to make their lives easier, category managers, you name it, so they can have way better price strategies, dynamic pricing, dynamic marketing, so that we remove all the repetition and boring tasks that they have to do by automating everything. We also have a lot of knowledge in-house about pricing, so we also share all our expertise and insights with our customers.
Fantastic.
So it's a very nice place to be on these days, right? Retailers and brands have a lot of challenges now to keep up with Amazon, and it's a very interesting place to be. Yeah, great.
So what size is the organization then?
We're at the moment 34 people.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're a scale-up, we like to call ourselves now.
At what point do you go from a scale-up to an SME?
I think that you stop being a startup once that you are really thinking seriously about international expansion. So we got also a funding round as well, and we are ready to go out there. Our main customer base is still in the Netherlands, but we're going a lot now to the UK and to Germany. So we're ready to grow, and hopefully to the US in a couple of years.
Fantastic. That sounds like an exciting adventure.
Yeah, very nice one. Yeah, indeed.
So when did you first come across OKRs, Andrea?
Yeah, the first time was actually in my previous company. So before I came here, the management team decided to start implementing the OKRs. But to be honest, it was more focused on KPIs than anything else. You know, it was more like a sort of a KPIs dashboard, how I started them, which is completely different of what we're trying to do here now.
Absolutely. So what do you see as the key differences to what you're doing at Omnia then?
When we started doing it over here, I mean, Sander, our CEO, had it already in mind when I joined, and I totally embraced the idea, but mainly because I wanted to do it in a bit different, right? So I don't think it should be a list of KPIs or the to-do. I really think that the real power of the OKRs is that they are really a way to inspire people to work together, to achieve something together, and that also can inspire people to grow for themselves. So we use them here to align all the effort that we put here every day towards the same goals, but also how you grow yourself. I think they're an excellent tool for that.
So almost personal development.
Yes, a lot is both. Yeah, we use it definitely with both. Right. I can tell you later a little bit if you want about how we incorporated it into employee satisfaction. Everything is quite related for us.
Yeah, we'll dig into that a little bit deeper in a while. Yeah. So just tell us more about the purpose and the mission of the organization then.
You mean the organization itself or about the OKRs in the organization?
Let's start with the organization itself.
Yeah, so for us, for the organization, we just want to make the life of our customers easier, right? So, and with all the amount of data that we have out there, we really have a lot of information that we can use to help our customers make their lives easier. And we actually apply the same purpose internally as well. So we also think that an organization from inside should be a place where everybody can grow every day, where you can learn every day. It's all around our values as well. We have an obsession with excellence. We never stop learning. And we also like to have a place where everybody's free to be themselves. So it's kind of like, I really like to have, it's the same thing, right? For us, the purpose for our customers is the same purpose that we have internally.
I love that line, an obsession with excellence.
Yes, it's very strong over here. So we defined our values, which are those three that I just mentioned, and it's something that is very important for us. And we actually use it all over the processes, since recruitment. We use it for performance reviews. So it's constantly alive. It's not only something on the wall, it's really, really nice.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a mission to kill what we call poster values.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Get them written in 30 feet letters on your wall.
You have to keep them alive. It's the only way. If not, they will die. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there about using them in recruitment. I think that they're probably the most important thing when it comes to recruitment.
Yeah, we have scorecards based on the values.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we use it completely. And it's something that we ask we are very open about it every time that we have a conversation. And it always gives you a very nice framework to talk with the new candidates. But also internally, we use it in our feedback. So every time that someone asks for feedback, it's around the values. So how can I improve around the values? It's really, really a very nice tool that we have. I'm very proud of them. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I really like that.
Really great.
So do you find your values influence your company level OKRs?
Definitely, yeah. So everything is a little bit mixed for us. And I think that we shouldn't make a difference between, as I was saying, the satisfaction of the customers and the satisfaction of our employees. They are both equally important. And we are using the OKRs as one of the main pillars for the employee satisfaction program. So when we are deciding on, if you think about how we decide, for example, the OKRs for the next quarter or the next half a year, the input for that is coming from two sides. One of the sides is the business plan. Of course, we have a business plan that we need to follow. But we also run a pulse survey in a quarterly basis where we get a lot of really super useful information from everybody here. So feedback about how is line management working, how is the office space, you name it, how is the information flow. And with those two inputs is how we define the OKRs all the time. So it's based on the feedback that we get directly from our employees. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can dig into the nuts and bolts of the process behind that a little bit more then. You've got these pulse surveys that you send out.
Yeah.
What do they look like? What sort of format are they in?
Yeah, so it's it's a very simple survey. I think it takes I always say 7 minutes to fill in.
Okay.
We're talking about 12 questions and we cover several areas. So we talk about, for example, line management. How are you feeling encouraged by your manager? how is the coaching. We talk about, do you feel that your opinion matters in the organization? We also measure actually the NPS score. So the typical question that you use about how likely will you recommend your company to a friend to work on. But we also have a lot of places during the survey where if you are not happy, you can provide direct feedback. So people just say it. We totally encourage open, loud, direct, but respectful feedback. So what we do is that the management team, we actually spend quite some time reading the survey outcome and analyzing it. And that's, it's 50% of the input of the OKRs that we are deciding.
Okay, so how do you collate that information?
Yeah, so we group it in the areas that you can see a common pattern, right? So, for example, I can give a good example for this last quarter. One of the main issues that were raised during the survey is that everybody here would like to see a better career plan definition, so that everything is a bit more clear, right? It is quite normal, right, for the stage that we are making the organization way more professional. So it is time for us to have a better career plan specifications, and you could see it. So that is one of the main things, for example, that that we need to work on. So one of our OKRs of the top 3 is we need to become a stronger team, and one of the key contributors is define and communicate a clear career path before the end of the year, because that will impact directly how strong the team is, and that was very clear. So with that analysis, we just group all the comments that we get, and we can see the focus areas, and it's with the clear conviction that if we work in the areas that are being raised, we will increase the employee satisfaction, right? So, that will lead us to happy employees, happy customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, is it a famous Richard Branson quote that was...
Yeah, that is it.
look after your staff and they'll look after your customers.
Oh, definitely. It's all, we are all people, eh? It's all the same. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay, so what's the second half of how your OKRs are formed then?
Yeah, the second half is the business plan. So, of course, we have a business plan that we have to meet. So the business plan brings in more like the part of the targets that we need to achieve, for example, for the growth, right? Yeah. So here we're talking about MRR, and it's a little bit more like in the KPIs part, but we give it a little bit of a twist, right? So, for example, if we think about that we need to increase our MRR, in order to increase our MRR, you need new customers, but we also need to keep the existing customers happy, right? Yeah. So then what we try to do is think about how the organization, everybody is going to contribute to have happy customers. And there you can see things about product, what are the new features that the product is going to bring, because new features will keep customers happy. How are we going to reduce the incidents that we may have during a quarter, things like that. So it's all, and that's something that I really, really like, that all the departments contribute to the OKRs together. We don't have, the growth of the business plan of the MRR is not only the responsibility of the sales team or the customer success. It's also, the technology department also needs to deliver, right? So that they have a direct impact on the happiness of our customers. And I really like that. I think that's and again, it's more related to the OKRs, to the power to the people, that I like to say, is that, you put everybody together working for a cause, happy customers, and it's with technology, with events, with, business reviews, you name it. But it's everybody in the organization contributing to the same together. I think that's really powerful.
So this is the importance that you were discussing with Roger and I when we did our bit of a research call then, about the importance of a common goal within an organization.
Yes, definitely. So what we do is that we decide as a management team on the 3 top company objectives. So that's something based, as I said, right, in the polls and in the business plan.
And is that on an annual level or a quarterly?
We do it half year now. We are trying with the half year. I don't know if we're going to evolve to the quarterly.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. For now, we're trying with the half year. Have to try, fail, experiment,
Mm-hmm.
But with these 3 objectives, what we do is that we share it with the whole organization, and we get feedback from the team if they are truly inspiring, if there is something that we all agree that we really, really need to work towards. Yeah. And after that, the idea is that the teams are the ones that decide, okay, how I'm going to contribute to this to this top company OKR from my team, but also from my personal level as well. So that's how both come together as well. So I could expect the developers, they will sit for like 2 or 3 hours discussing, okay, what can we achieve in the next quarter or 6 months to contribute to the top company? And also for me individually, what can I do to contribute? Maybe I need to get a new training or something. I don't know, you name it, But,
okay, so have you rolled OKRs down to an individual level then? Or yes. You have?
We have team and personal. We have both, yeah.
Okay, and how are you finding that?
I like it. I think it works very well. The team OKRs really work for I think what is the strongest part of the OKRs, that is everybody working together. Mm-hmm. But when you also have your own personal ones, it's also a motivating factor for you as an individual, which is, we are all individuals as well. So it's really, I really like the combination of both.
So do the individual OKRs focus on what they're going to achieve for the business, or do they focus on their personal development?
It's personal development, but contributing to the business. So, for example, if you do, I don't know, if you would like to do, imagine that it's a training, but it's on something that really is not related to our business. It doesn't make sense that it's contributing to any of the top company objectives. So it's personal OKRs, but related to the top. So everything is aligned to contribute to the top 3.
Yeah. Right.
And we also use it in the feedback, because the thing is that everybody here sits with the managers at the beginning of the quarter to decide on the team, the personal OKRs, and then in the middle of the quarter, there is always a check-in. Mm-hmm. So see how you are doing. And at the end of the quarter, there is a review. So there's always this point at the beginning of every quarter where you have a review and a planning meeting with your manager to talk about, okay, how did the quarter go? And then you check the OKRs and then you plan for the future. So it's also really related to the framework that we use as well to give feedback, to analyze performance. It's all about the OKRs as well.
That's really interesting. That's not a framework I've come across before. And I know a lot of organizations now don't roll OKRs down to an individual level. But I think that's because they find that if you do that, you're almost encouraging the individuals to write task lists, but actually encouraging the individuals to really think about how they can develop personally to support those OKRs. That's a really interesting way of doing it.
Yeah, and I think it's more like you have to have it with a business. I think I agree with that it shouldn't be a to-do list, and it really needs to give... it needs to provide something to the top company objectives. But I think it's really it's a really interesting way of also motivating the personal development of the people around here. So it's working quite okay for us. It takes time. It's always something that I say. I read it somewhere as well, that if it takes you 30 minutes to set up your OKRs, there's really not... it takes a long time here for us as well.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it basically means not enough thought has gone into them.
It's a lot of feedback coming. And again, going back to the feedback as well, you release the top 3. The organization needs to feel inspired by them, and they need to also agree, okay, this makes sense, right? If the objectives are totally out of this world, or if they have nothing to do with the day-to-day as well, it will be something people will not relate. So I always say that my main, when I know that it's working, is that if after 2 or 3 weeks of releasing, everybody in the organization can name the top 3 by heart, what are we doing this quarter or this half year? We're doing this, and this.
100%.
That's the main, I think is the best way for everybody to know, where are we going? What are we doing?
Yeah, well, I always say, if the purpose and the mission of the organization and thereby the objectives and key results of the organization aren't transparent, then how the hell can you expect people to work towards them on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, definitely. No, and also, how do you expect people to get motivated out of bed, out for something? You want to get out of bed with a purpose, with
Absolutely.
we're gonna do something, right? It's also very nice to see yourself contributing together with your team to the top company objectives and even to the realization of the business plan. It's not only a sales thing, it's from everybody over here.
Yeah, 100%, because I don't think there's very many people in the world that actually really don't give a shit when they're going into work. I think most people feel better about going into work and making a difference than just turning up 9 till 5 every day.
Yeah, everybody wants to make a difference, right? I think when someone really doesn't care, it's because it's being way too long, that they have an organization that they don't care, That's if not by default, everybody wants to have an impact, right? What you do every day. Absolutely. And I think it makes it very visible to have the goal and also the inspiration. I maybe I'm repeating a little bit myself, but I really think that they have to be truly inspirational, because if not, it's just,
I agree.
Yeah, you need to be leading them. Yeah, it's we spent at the office a lot of time, so let's do something all together. And again, for the teams, it's fantastic because if you have different teams contributing to the same OKR together, you can also feel how the flow of information moves way quicker in the organization, how people communicate more, and they are all working towards something.
Yeah, I recorded a webinar last week, actually, that's it was to do with cross-functional working, and it was about increasing efficiency and abolishing silos and all of those sorts of things. So if anybody's interested in that, feel free to look me up on LinkedIn and you'll be able to find the recording on YouTube.
It sounds very interesting indeed.
But it's so important, and you can see it and you can feel it in the organizations that you work with. We call it the reception test, in that we know straight away when we go to start work with a new client, when we're sat in the reception area, whether that company has a healthy company culture or not.
Yeah.
And it's all born from this cross-functional working and this collaboration and this transparency of goals.
Definitely.
In fact, on that note, are the individual OKRs transparent across the company?
Yes, everybody can see everything. Yeah, we have a very open and transparent culture over here. We talk about everything. There's no hidden OKRs or hidden goals anywhere. No, it's all open. Yeah, I think that's also you can also cheat each other, It's depends on the framework that you use, but you can also see how the other person is doing, and it's a pat on the shoulder or go. That also works very well.
Yeah.
It does require a lot of. We are working very hard on this because we truly believe that makes a difference for us. But it does require time, and it does require a lot of coaching and give feedback on what is an OKR, what is a KPI, is this measurable, is this really clear, is this really contributing to the top 3? So we do a constant review on the OKRs. I think I spent easily 4 hours a week on this, just going through it and keeping a little bit more challenging people back on the OKR, on the progress, so it does require something from the organization. It's not something that you do at the beginning of the quarter and then you just go and sit. It doesn't work.
Absolutely. And the organization needs somebody like yourself who is willing to champion it and willing to be the person who is challenging people on their OKRs.
Yeah, I think that's one of my learnings as well.
Right.
At the beginning, when we started it, it was more like setting it up and then wait and see. And since I am way more active on the challenging, I can see the difference. So you definitely need someone that chases and believes in it. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I really do love the idea of those personal development key results and objectives, and them being transparent across the organization, because I'm not sure about other countries. I know certainly Europe tends to be a bit more advanced than us back here in the UK on this, but I think personal development and the way you want to learn is almost quite a taboo subject still in the UK, to the extent that, you know, those famous 3 things that you would never ask somebody about, i.e. Religion, politics, and how much they earn.
Okay.
I feel like personal development goals almost sneak into that same sort of culture and taboo subject, really. And I think the more you can make your organization open to the fact that everybody is going to develop in different ways, it can only create a healthier culture.
I think that transparency only has benefits. I haven't seen why hiding information. I haven't seen any benefits of hiding information. I think even if you think about all the rumors and all the noise when people are talking about other people's salaries or other people, what are they doing? I think it slows the organization down. I think as transparent as you can be is something that I would recommend to everybody, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I had this issue in my last organization, actually, where they tried to make it an immediately fireable offence if anybody discussed their salary with another employee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and my response to that to the owners was, well, the only reason that you should ever be afraid of somebody talking about their salaries with another employee is if you know that you're paying unfair salaries.
Exactly. Yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, you shouldn't be ashamed of that. I mean, if you're paying people fairly, I have to say that over here, now that I'm working on the career path, of course, is one of my main OKRs for the next months. One of the things that I would like to do is share the salary bandwidths per position. I think that sharing the salary at an individual level, maybe for us as well, is a little bit too soon. But I do think that the bandwidth per role, it will be something that we should be doing, definitely.
Yeah, because, I completely agree.
Yeah, I think it removes a lot of noise. You know, and noise. The only thing that noise does is slow. Yeah, then you cannot contribute to your goals because you are busy with other things that you shouldn't be busy with, right?
Yeah, there's. I mean, for me, there's 2 effects for the CEOs and founders of the companies as well when you get this sort of noise going on.
Yeah.
A, it starts to piss you off a little bit because it's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
And B, it slows your organization down. So what's the point?
Completely. Totally agree with you. Yeah.
So we started to touch on something, Andrea, about some of the learnings you've had in your OKR journey. And I know you mentioned one at the beginning as well from your previous organization, which was trying to remove OKRs from basically just being a dashboard for KPIs.
Yeah.
What other learnings have you found in your sort of experience with them?
Yeah, I think that is one. I think the other one we just mentioned about the championing is also something that I learned as well. I think the main one for me is that the source of creating the OKRs, that it doesn't come only from the business plan. So it needs to be something else. It cannot be only about MRR, so to speak. So you need to put the organization, that needs to be an input. The feedback of the organization needs to be an input to shaping where you want to go in the next quarter, definitely. And I think I learned a lot by doing it and failing and doing it again and failing again. And we are still far from being perfect.
Well, if it's any consolation, we are an OKR consultancy. And about 4 months back, we made the realization that we weren't doing OKRs in the most efficient way for our organization and completely changed the way we were doing them.
Yeah, but I think that says a lot about you guys. A lot of self-reflection. That's the thing. Yeah,
it's all about those retrospectives and not being afraid to make those changes.
Yeah, that's also something that I always tell when I talk about OKRs. I keep saying we're going to try this in this way now, and maybe we'll have to change it. But change is there. Change is unavoidable, and it's okay to change it if it's going to if we're going to suit us better. Yeah. And we change a lot because, as I said, we started also over here. It was more KPIs. Then it was a bit of a to-do. Then it was like very I think one of the mistakes that we also made, maybe interesting also for the listeners, is focusing the OKRs very separately in the individual departments, So it was like a development team has an OKR, sales has an OKR, and customer success has an OKR, and they were not related at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so I have my own thing, but then when it's one Omnia, we're one company, we want the same. So that has been a big, big shift for us, for what we were talking about before, the full alignment of the organization.
Yeah, I think that one's a really easy trap for people to fall into when they're first trying out implementing OKRs, because it feels like by far the simplest way to do it and to come up with the OKRs. The problem that you're going to run into is that you're going to have silos starting to form. You're going to have duplication of efforts. You're going to have turf wars and competition over resources. And that is such a great piece of advice from the very beginning. Create cross-functional OKRs and get everybody's input into them as you're doing it.
Yeah, it is not easy, because that's the thing. It requires more time. That's why your OKRs are not written in half an hour, because you need a lot of collaboration. So people go in the teams and they think about how they can contribute, but they also need to align with the other teams. And we have a lot of feedback rounds and again. And that's how it goes. And it takes time. I think you should also be, the first time that you do it, patient with yourself, and also if you're the champion, and also patient with the organization. And it will take you some time and a lot of refinements and a lot of discussions. But I think that the results are really, really clear.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan, so yeah.
That's been really interesting, and I love your guys' approach to the human factor within OKRs. I think you must have such an amazing company culture going on at Omnia.
Yeah, we are working very hard for it. It's very important for us, and we're very proud of it. Thanks.
So, if you had one final piece of advice then to give to somebody either just about to start their OKR journey or maybe 1 or 2 cycles in, what would that be?
Take your time to define them well, and make sure that they are inspirational, so that everybody embraces it, and make sure that everybody becomes passionate about it. That will be it.
Yeah, fantastic. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
I hope it's been useful for all the listeners. To be honest, I'm 100% sure it will be useful for all the listeners, because there was some really key nuggets of advice in there that were even new for me at the Giants. So I think that will have been a really inspiring one for everybody. Look out for the LinkedIn posts and Twitter posts about it, guys. We always love to hear what you think. If you have any feedback, whether positive or negative, about the podcast, please let us know, because it's the only way we can improve. If there's any particular special guest you'd love to hear from, or if you'd love to guest on it yourself, then let us know. Or again, if there's any specific topic you want to hear about, just let us know. And I know I've mentioned this on the last couple of podcasts, but do check out the OKR forum that's going to be in Amsterdam on October the 3rd. It is the largest dedicated OKR conference in Europe, and there's some amazing guests lined up. It's going to be fantastic. Myself will be there, Roger will be there, as well as a number of other really awesome guys with their OKR stories. But apart from that, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, and really look forward to you joining us next time on Giant Talk. Cheers, everybody. Bye.